Coming up on AgweekTV, farmers who hire foreign workers may have to pay them more. Some small Minnesota producers get the chance to tell their representative what they'd like to see in the new Farm Bill. After nearly losing their program, the NDSU Equestrian team is heading to nationals. And a South Dakota restaurant serves food fresh from farmers to their customers. Welcome to AgweekTV. I'm Emily Beal. Farmers across the country who are facing worker shortages may no longer be able to afford the farm labor they need. Changes by the U.S. Labor Department in the H-2A Temporary Agricultural Program force producers to pay many of their H-2A workers significantly more than before. Until now, employers were required to pay the adverse effect wage rate, which is based off the Farm Labor Survey. The new rule looks at all the jobs listed in the H-2A's job description and has employers compensate them for the highest wage rate offer for that specific task.
And if you hire workers to do things that are outside of their sort of idea of what general normal farm work is, then you have to, what they do is they look at those specific job duties that they consider to be extra, and they say, okay, well, this job duty is also in these other occupations. And this is the highest paying of those occupations, so this is the wage rate that this employer should be paying.
The USA Farm Labor Incorporated compared the new wage rates to the old wage rates and found that on average, operation costs for producers will increase by $100,000 to $200,000 per season. For many producers, this means they may not be able to afford the workers they need to keep their operations running.
Well, if I wouldn't be able to get H-2A workers here and couldn't come across anybody else that locally that wanted to work, I mean, I guess I'd have to downsize the operation and farm the acres that I can all by myself.
On top of the wage increase, the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services is also trying to significantly increase its fees for the program. The USA Labor Incorporated encourages anyone who may be affected by this new rule to reach out to their representatives. As work continues on the next Farm Bill, policymakers are listening to people in the ag industry. U.S. House member Angie Craig from Minnesota's 2nd District held a roundtable with small-scale producers from southeast Minnesota. She wanted to learn what they'd like in the next Farm Bill. She toured Seed Organic Farm and heard from owner Rebecca Rudabush about how changes in the Farm Bill could help small farms like hers grow. She emphasized the need for crop insurance and health insurance for her workers.
Certainly, we need to make sure that we have a strong nutrition title in the Farm Bill, but I also wanted to make sure with this group in particular that I had a focus and view on specialty crops, particularly around conservation title, around the crop insurance title, and about new and beginning farmers.
With this opportunity to renew or improve the Farm Bill, if we were to lower the barriers for farmers, for specialty crops like mine, to access Farm Bill programs, I think it would really make a big improvement.
Craig says none of the small farmers at the roundtable have been able to buy crop insurance in the past, so that's a high priority for her in the Farm Bill. The NDSU Western Equestrian team is riding into nationals next month after saving their program from budget cuts earlier this year. I met with the two riders and their coach who have their eyes set on the blue ribbon.
Horses have always been in my background, and it's great to come and you get a job that you love. That's what I tell my students.
Tara Swanson is an equine science lecturer and coach of NDSU's Western Equestrian team. Swanson began her role in the equine program in 2006. Besides teaching a variety of equine classes throughout her day, she also spends countless hours standing on the practice arena's dirt floor, helping her riders get to the next level.
It's been really exciting. We worked hard this semester and we won the region, our Zone 7 Region 3, so that's always a good honor to have. And then we traveled to semifinals in Florida, had really great showings there, and now we're headed to Kentucky in just a few weeks to compete against the top 12 individuals in each class.
It's been a lot of hard work. I couldn't be here without our coach, Tara.
Michaela Long is a senior studying horticulture and will be showing in the individual horsemanship class at nationals. She grew up around horses and has been showing since she she was 5. For her, horses are a family affair.
My oldest sister was on the equestrian team when I came here as a freshman, and so we kind of got to do that together.
I actually didn't grow up around horses. I lived in the suburbs, so I couldn't have a horse in my backyard.
Kaylee Ann Barrio is a junior studying animal science and will be showing in the beginner horsemanship class at Nationals. She's excited to ride beside her teammate and have her coach along with her every step of the way. While the team is a testament to the equine program's success, the future of the program was unknown at the beginning of this year.
With some budget cuts, there was something happening with they weren't going to be able to keep Tara on, and we all thought like the equine science program is just going to fall apart because Tara holds us together.
They started an online petition that garnered many signatures. The petition helped save the equine program and Swanson's position.
To have students set up petitions and rally for you and, you know, write all these impact statements about all of the things that you provided to them and all of the life skills that you helped to mentor and build was a pretty amazing feeling.
The pair will compete May 4th through 7th at the Kentucky Horse Park. You can read much more in the next Ag Week magazine or at agweek.com. Up next on Ag Week TV, how a dry fall and a wet spring are taking a toll on pasture land.
There's no easy button, no guarantees, or promises of a good year. This is farming. It's unpredictable and demanding, with long days and sometimes stressful nights. It's weathering the storms and coming out successful. Farming isn't for everyone. We thank those who make it their life, because it is for everyone.
Since the inception of Vaterstadt, the spirit of innovation has led the company. We push the limits, providing innovative and reliable seeding and tillage solutions that simplify everyday life for farmers. We continue to reimagine the capabilities and technology behind farm machinery, providing customers with a perfect emergence while maximizing their yields. We look forward to growing together.
Dynaflow is the ultimate high-volume water management pump. Whether you're experiencing flooding, emptying sloughs, transferring ponds, or working on irrigation, the Dynaflow pump works in as little as 18 inches of water and is designed to move 3,000 gallons per minute. The Dynaflow lift pump is the perfect upgrade to your drain tile system. Using line shaft turbine pump technology, these pumps are made to last while operating efficiently. Dynaflow drain tile pumps can move up to 1,500 gallons per minute, up to 3,400 feet away.
We farm up by Drayton, North Dakota. We farm about 2,500 acres, and I'm a 5th-generation farmer. It started out essentially as a vanity thing along the highway, just to try and not make it look so bad when people drove by. The effects we had there, and talking with Jim and Darcy at ECO, we realized that it had options in different crops and different things, so we ended up using it now in sugar beets. We use it in beans, and this year we're going to try it in wheat. The first couple of years in those small spots, it was just generally we could see they were better, and it looked better, so that was what we went by. But now that we've been actually able to measure it in furrow and in some different plots in the sugar beets and beans, the rate of return has been anywhere from 1 or 2 to spots that's made a difference of probably 4 to 5 times on the rate of return, which is, you know, exceptional. For us river guys there that deal with flooding issues along highways, but pretty much anywhere that has salt issues, which is, you know, a lot of different acres up here and a lot of different crops too. So we've definitely had interest from other growers, and I think that there's probably an application on almost every farm.
The dry conditions last fall are going to impact this year's grazing season. On top of the dry autumn soils, the cool, wet spring will further delay grazing for producers. Miranda Meehan, NDSU Extension Livestock Environmental Stewardship Specialist, warns producers to not put their livestock out into pasture before it's ready to graze.
It's going to be later, and if we start grazing too early before those grasses reach grazing readiness, which is the 3-leaf stage for our introduced species such as brome grasses, and the 3.5-leaf stage for our native species, we will see a setback because we're going to get ahead of those grasses, and we can get up to a 60% reduction in forage production from that.
Meehan says rainfall from mid-April to the beginning of July will be really important and influence the region's forage growth. A South Dakota family rooted in FFA tradition is this year's South Dakota FFA Foundation's Family of the Year. The Nagel family of Gettysburg has been involved with the organization for generations, and now they're being honored for their dedication to FFA.
Really looking at it as a core piece of who we are as a family and wanting to help serve in an organization that has given us so much in that return for our personal successes. So having the opportunity to be recognized for the fact that we truly do believe in helping others in that service to agriculture is probably where I would set my focus on in that regard.
The award is encouraging to the family's younger generation as they continue with their FFA careers.
And it makes me feel like, yes, we're involved in agriculture, but like it makes me want to do more and be involved more with FFA and agriculture and in the agriculture industry.
Over the years, family members have served as chapter and district officers, led service projects, and supervised agricultural experiences, and they have been able to share their experiences with each generation of the family.
1, 2, ready, play!
Minnesota FFA members gathered in Minneapolis this week for their 94th state convention, and it wasn't all livestock and competitions. About 200 musicians from around the state make up the FFA band and choir. Ellie Morshing is from Janesville, Minnesota. This is her first year at the FFA state convention. She's played the tuba since 5th grade and has been in FFA for 2 years, but she didn't know there was a state band until this year. She says it's been fun meeting musicians from around the state and seeing how quickly it all came together when they started rehearsing.
I got the music before I came here, and so I practiced a little individually. But then when there's other people that play similar parts as me, it really all comes together, and it kind of just like flows together.
Morshing says while the state band is much bigger than she's used to, it was reassuring that her high school band director is also the director of the FFA band. Up next on AgweekTV, GMO detection could be the answer to cross-contamination concerns.
Risk management is not just for the grains. Livestock producers, did you know you too can protect the price for your production? Livestock Risk Protection, or LRP for short, is a great tool to help you protect the price of your calves. Cattle producers can also protect their pasture and hayland from lack of rainfall with pasture rangeland forage, or PRF insurance. This is a very affordable way to help producers in times of below average rainfall. Call the risk management specialist, Martinson Ag Risk Management.
You can get the field results you want in varying conditions with the flexibility of the Summers VRT Renegade. Featuring on-the-fly blade angle adjustment from 0 to 19 degrees. And if you want the simplicity of a super coulter with the ability to move a little dirt, you'll love the all-new Summers Super Coulter Samurai. Go to summersmfg.com or visit your local dealer to learn more about North America's broadest line of tillage equipment and other products from North Dakota-based Summers Manufacturing.
How'd they find me out here? Huh. Current resident. They don't even know who I am. Fifth downtown location. Why would I care?
Find a bank that cares about what you really need. Cornerstone Bank.
Built in North Dakota and delivered across the Midwest, every Pinky home is a custom home, designed for your family, built by ours. And with our on-site lumberyard and generations of experience, we can help build the home of your dreams without breaking your budget. Build something that lasts. Build with Pinky Homes. Get to know us and see all of your customization options at pinkyhomes.com.
Getting down to business on the farm means hitting the office early, making sure your team's ready to go, getting updates from the field, and talking with your management team. At Bremerbank, we understand the business of farming and how to protect and grow your operation, so you can be sure your present and your future are in good hands.
Ag Week Weather is sponsored by Bremerbank. Connect with a banker today at bremer.com.
Will these April showers bring May flowers next week? Here's John with our AgriWeather Outlook.
Good evening. The pattern of the North American continent appears to be undergoing a fairly significant change as we segue into May. The cold weather really retreating. Now that's seasonal. This time of year, I mean, it's possible to get really cold weather in May, but it does get fairly unusual just because of the strength of the sunlight this time of year. But the overall pattern change, the jet stream is getting weak and it's getting into a pattern of being kind of stuck and bogged down. And for most cases of the northern plains, central plains, corn belt areas of the United States, generally speaking, it looks not particularly wet and not particularly uncomfortable temperature-wise. So a pretty good weather pattern to kind of segue into the real heart, the big thrust of the growing season. For the northern plains, farmers are just waiting to get out into the fields. And this is a weather pattern that will get us there eventually. It's not terribly warm, but it is mostly dry. Jet stream winds are still coming out of the north. You may have noticed this circle. This is where an upper level low is going to kind of get cut off from the primary flow out along the west coast. This will bring some precipitation again, unwanted rain and snow into the Sierras. There'll probably be some snowfall in the northern Rockies, but most of this pattern will be fairly dry. The one exception is where the upper level winds are bringing cooler weather down into the southeast and the east coast. There will be some areas of showers and thunderstorms here. Note the cold weather has really retreated to up around the Hudson Bay region, and as we go through this week, we're not seeing a ridge of high pressure anywhere except over the northern Rockies. Now you'll notice this warm weather pattern in Alberta. That's actually quite common. When you get into May, it's not unusual to get weather into the 70s and 80s and sometimes 90s up here, up in the boreal forest even sometimes, up into the Northwest Territories. It just happens. Seasonally, the snow melts up there and it tends to get fairly warm. The Hudson Bay region tends to be slow to warm in the spring because of the ice on the bay, and so it's not unusual for the cool pattern to persist around the Great Lakes into the northeast and sometimes the northern plains. But because of this ridge, that pattern, that impact is not going to be too strong. Into the second week, starting to see the subtropical jet stream beginning to take shape. That's also typical for this time of year, but overall this is a fairly weak looking weather pattern. Precipitation wise, there will be rain and snow in the Pacific Northwest, the northern Rockies, mostly higher elevation stuff. Rain and thunder showers along the southeast and the east coast. Probably some light snows around the Great Lakes. The second week now, the first full complete week of May, looks mostly dry in the central northern plains, upper Midwest. Showers, thunder showers in the southeast, and a shrinking area of precipitation, mostly in the heart of the Rocky Mountains.
I'm Peter Bosch. I've been working with Gateway Building Systems for a little over 20 years now. I chose Gateway Building Systems to build my shop because I wanted a building that could both be used for my equipment and as a place for my family to hang out and do things. I would advise anybody that's thinking about working with Gateway to go in and talk to the guys there, tell them your plans and your future dreams, and let them design something for you.
Getting down to business on the farm means hitting the office early, making sure your team's ready to go, getting updates from the field, and talking with your management team. At Bremerbank, we understand the business of farming and how to protect and grow your operation, so you can be sure your present and your future are in good hands.
We farm up by Drayton, North Dakota. It's a family farm. We have about 2,500 acres and we grow sugar beets, wheat, and soybeans. So we use the Nano CS, which is in with our calcine and our regular starter in sugar beets. And then throughout the year when we're spraying Roundup, we use the Nano Pro to help with the efficacy of that. And later in the year when we're doing Cercospora spraying, we add in the Nano K to help try and boost the sugars a little bit. On the beans, we've been using the Nano Pack, the Nano Stress, and the Nano Pro with the Roundup there as well. And then this is the first year we're going to be trying their Nano K or Nano N product, which is a nitrogen one. So it's kind of the next wave and stuff that farming's always been on the cutting edge on some of these things, whether it's the GPS or any of these technologies. Now when we're getting into the chemical and the soil side of it, this nano technology that these guys have and able to get it into the plant faster, moving faster, this is kind of the next wave I think that's going to be coming here, and these guys are on the leading edge of it for sure.
Don't miss out on the equipment you'll need next season. Titan Machinery, your local Case IH dealer, has early order discounts on its full line of powerful, efficient, new Case IH equipment, including tractors, combines, and self-propelled sprayers. Get a great deal and ensure that you have the latest in productivity and technology. Supply chains are tight. Contact your Titan Machinery dealership today and find out how much you can save by ordering ahead. Titan Machinery, your local Case IH equipment experts.
Most people think of GMO corn as being used in ethanol, but today food-grade growers are seeing cross-contamination risks. I visited with Ashke Vidwans to see how Envirologix is helping corn producers and processors protect their quality.
It leads to a lot of product quality issues.
Akshay is a product manager for Envirologix, a company that specializes in GMO detection. He says certain GMOs have the ability to significantly affect the corn crop's overall quality and the quality of the food product, like tortillas, chips, and cornbread. GMO corn can also cause contamination, leading to supply chain issues, processing and production delays, and even penalties for products labeled as GMO-free.
Enogen corn is a special type of GMO corn, and it has a high level of alpha amylase. It's an enzyme which is similar to what is in our saliva, so it could break down starch into sugars. So if that corn mixes with food-grade corn, it can have an impact on the starch quality, and hence growers as well as corn processors should be aware of the contamination risk for this GMO corn.
Contamination can cost producers and processors time and money and cost food manufacturers penalties and reputation, all making GMO testing even more important.
But if it mixes with food products, then it can impact the quality of those products. So I've heard issues like the masa flour batch failing, companies losing up to, weeks of production because of it. Then there are tortillas start zippering within the packet. Cornbread starts collapsing upon itself in a hot box. So there are some very unique quality issues which get created if this corn mixes with food grade corn.
Envirologix is at the forefront of GMO testing for Enogen Corn, recently improving their GMO test to detect an even lower level of this GMO. That helps corn growers and processors protect themselves and their customers from quality issues, supply chain problems, and penalties.
Our previous test could detect Enogen corn down to 0.25%, but companies still faced issues and they said we need something under 0.1%. So actually our new test can detect down to 0.04%.
To learn more about the risks, the impact on food quality, and what proactive tests you do to protect your corn supply, visit Envirologix.com. Up next on AgweekTV, one South Dakota restaurant is strengthening the field to fork connection.
The team at Northstar Egg is committed to quality and committed to you. We're not just a full-service dealer, we're farmers too, so we know you need the best machinery and services that'll keep you going all season long. We have the largest equipment inventory in the upper Midwest with a well-equipped parts and service department. So whether you need machinery tomorrow or parts today, stop in and experience what Northstar Egg can offer on our website at northstar-egg.com or give us a call at 701-361-4790.
When the water's high and your yields are low, 'cause your fields have no place for water to flow. Just one call takes care of it all. Call on Field Drainage Incorporated. Call on Field Drainage Incorporated. Call on Field Drainage. The experts in the
Dynaflow is the ultimate high-volume water management pump. Whether you're experiencing flooding, emptying sloughs, transferring ponds, or working on irrigation, the Dynaflow pump works in as little as 18 inches of water and is designed to move 3,000 gallons per minute. The Dynaflow lift pump is the perfect upgrade to your drain tile system. Using line shaft turbine pump technology, these pumps are made to last while operating efficiently. Dynaflow drain tile pumps can move up to 1,500 gallons per minute, up to 3,400 feet away.
The Cray Revolution Ditcher is the new standard for surface water management. The Revolution Ditcher leaves a smooth finished 5-foot flat bottom cut and cuts up to 10 inches in one pass. Throw dirt in either direction, up to 165 feet. Now with the hydraulic cross auger to break up dirt and keep you working faster. Check out the Revolution Ditcher at Crary.com.
Getting down to business on the farm means hitting the office early, making sure your team's ready to go, getting updates from the field, and talking with your management team. At Bremerbank, we understand the business of farming and how to protect and grow your operation, so you can be sure your present and your future are in good hands.
A restaurant company in Sioux Falls, South Dakota is working to build connections directly with the farmers growing their ingredients and educating their customers about exactly where their food comes from.
Laura Patzer is hard at work planting these seeds, which will soon grow into produce that will be served at restaurants owned by Vanguard Hospitality throughout Sioux Falls.
This Vanguard partnership has been amazing. Not only is it providing the freshest, most delicious vegetables for their end user, their customers at their restaurants, it's also securing just different opportunities for us.
The company buys their ingredients directly from around 25 producers. During the summer, this steakhouse uses 85% of ingredients sourced directly from producers, and in the winter, around 70%.
The majority of our producers are from South Dakota. We do have a couple in Iowa and a ranch in Nebraska that we do business with. You know, crossing a border is, irrelevant, but we have a hand in every single producer with what it is that we're getting for a product and building a relationship together.
Through the program, Vanguard brings another source of income to these farming and ranching operations.
We know that they want to purchase specific amounts each week, and with that we can plan accordingly, and we have the space and as well as the means coming in to continue to kind of grow our farm and they provide income for our farm as well.
Through what we are doing by creating these relationships, it's also activated the conversation with the younger generation of those families. Well, this is interesting and we can create something more for ourselves. It might be unorthodox or a new way of looking at the world, but this is something I can get behind. And we're seeing that as we continue our relationships.
Cultivating relationships with local producers to create a sustainable food chain.
Well, we have a lot of pride when we go to their restaurants, especially in the summertime when we know that our produce is on the menu. It's just really kind of full circle for us.
Vanguard Hospitality has 3 restaurants which are buying directly from producers. Customers can see exactly where their food is coming from on the menu and get links and information about all the operations participating. Stories you'll only see on AgWeek.com and in AgWeek magazine this week. A North Dakota beef operation is planning a big expansion using some unique technologies. And Marathon Petroleum's renewables business manager says renewable diesel has some advantages. We appreciate you watching AgWeek TV. Remember to check us out daily on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok to keep up on all your ag news. Have a wonderful week, everyone.